So welcome to St John the Baptist Church. First we're going to start on the medieval graves here. These have obviously been moved from the original location. See the detail on some of them though. That one's there is a cross slab of a blacksmith. A priest. And we've got something like the Saxon style here. And the reason for this is, with the Saxon styles, that this has been here for, not this exact church, but this site has been used for worship for over 1,000 years. It says the information on here. It was founded in AD 689 by Ethelred, King of Mercia, on the site of a much earlier Christian church, probably the site of a pagan temple. So I'll just leave that there for a minute if you want to have a quick read of it. I've had a good read, but the main reason that I'm visiting this church is because for people who watch my videos, you will see that I visited Smithil's Hall, where the martyr, where he stamped his foot and then he was brought to Chester and burnt alive. But there is a memorial in here to him, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. But first, this is a replica of a piece of the cross. But during the Reformation, they believed that there was an original piece of the cross here that was removed and destroyed, unfortunately. But on here you'll see some of the old medieval wall art. It's 14th century. So what I'm going to do is I'm just making the camera a bit bigger to try and show you. So on there you will see what looks like tents. This scene is believed to be something similar to the final the first crusade. Sorry, that kind of style. Now I don't know how well you can see on there, but that man with the beard, apparently if you try and look at it a slightly different way, it looks like he's actually holding a child, and that's the child's back of his head. I don't know how well you're picking that up, but you can see on here some of the mason signs, what they would have carved in. And there's an animal there. Now obviously back in them times, people couldn't really I don't know how well it's picking up there, but I've got a little booklet that I bought. I'll show you that in a minute. This is the organ. But as I say, yeah, back in those kind of times, a lot of people didn't read, especially Latin. So instead of reading or listening to it, because they probably still wouldn't have been able to understand it, they would have actually used pictures like that, the imagery, to describe. You can see there's a bit of work going on there. The windows in here, none of these windows are modern. All destroyed during the Reformation as usual. Cromwell. As well, that little mark that I showed you with the cross, apparently there were some even better ones than that, but when Cromwell and his army came in, they hit them with their swords and the knives to destroy them. Typical thing that Cromwell would have done. But here, to George Marsh, what I was saying about Smithil's Hall, there's a memorial to him. Now he was burnt about a mile away from here, on the river bank, and apparently he wasn't the only one. That was where they did it with a lot of people, so... But we'll show you a few other little interesting bits in here now. Some of the tombs are quite interesting, there's one especially over here. Making the camera a bit smaller. So you can see these gates here, these are original, with the strange fleur-de-lis. It's got the 4 points. And I think these are from James I, if I'm correct. The guide was telling me a moment ago. I'm sure he said James I. But this is an interesting one here before I show you the tomb. So you can see in the middle there, and the two shadows, that's Mary and the Holy Trinity. Now this is the one I wanted to show you. So the skulls at the bottom represent the male part of the family, and they died without an heir. And then this is the grave of the woman, Diana Warburton. Such an unusual one, but if you can make it on the camera, where her hips are and where her knees are, that piece of cloth is like covering. You can see them like protruding out a bit. You don't usually see it like that. But let's show you one more interesting thing. Now these sides of these churches are not original. It was quite a wider church, as you know. Cathedrals and churches, follow the shape of a cross. So there's a lot of extensive work being done in here, but still an interesting place. Now the final thing I'm going to show you is, let's just got to go over here to get a bit of a better view. Oh, you can see there the original gates as well, in that same kind of style. But if you can see up there, I don't know how well it's picking it up, but there's some steps that go up. Now they go up into that central archway there, and you can actually walk across there and into the roof part of the building. Apparently some masons was in there not long ago when they were doing some work, but now you can't get to that staircase unless you put a ladder up there. I'd be very tempted to rob that scaffolding ladder and go up myself, but I'm not allowed. But this is a little tour of St John the Baptist. I hope you've enjoyed this, a little bit of history. There's another one from Chester. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is quickly, as I'm going out, I understand that you might not have been able to see, oh god, I just dropped it, the artwork on that pillar very well. So, I've got my little book here. So this possibly might be a bit clearer, but try this over pages. Oh, I didn't actually see that animal, the deers. Not too sure what that one is, but there we go. Alright then, I'll shut the door, you're alright. And then look at this that they've got here, at the entrance to the cathedral. The Freeman Guild. Fred. Just give you a quick little view of the outside now. It's finally stopped raining. So I'm thinking that is probably the oldest part of this cathedral. Now you can't obviously get into that bit, it's all blocked off. This must be the modern part. The northwest tower, the Church of St John the Baptist, yeah, so that's what it would have been originally. Oh, so during the Civil War, this platform would have been, as it say, damaged by bombardment. King Charles I narrowly escaped being hit by a musket fire as he stood looking over the tower. Wow, that's a great story, isn't it? So yeah, this is the outside of it. Let's give you a little view here now, and then we'll end it here. Also, when I was saying before, where the George Marsh Memorial is, that wall isn't original either, that was rebuilt. I'm presuming that is the original over there, where you can see the archway and the old style brickwork over that side. Well, this is it now. So when I was saying then at the end, the old part of the cathedral, what was being besieged, you can see here, possibly, that might be an image of Charles I just getting missed by a musket shot as they broke down the walls. It's a really nice thing they've done there. Gives you a good image of what I was talking about.